This is the gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
This time we meditate on a brief passage from the book of Saint Francis de Sales on the Treatise of the Love of God, Volume 2, Book 8, Chapter 1. This brief quote helps us to think about the relationship between our soul and God, and what happens between us in terms of desire and yearning to be with the other. Concerning the love of conformity which proceeds from sacred complacence. Like good ground that has received seed and then in due season returns it 100-fold, a heart that has found complacence in God cannot keep from wishing to render God another complacence in return. There is no one pleasing to us whom we do not desire to please. For a time, cool wine refreshes those who drink it, but as soon as it has been warmed up by the stomach into which it has gone, it in turn warms up the stomach, and the more heat it gives the wine, the more heat the wine returns. True love is never ungrateful, but strives to please those whom it has found, those in whom it has found pleasure. From this fact arises that conformity among lovers, causing us to be like what we love. The most devout and most wise King Solomon became idolatrous and foolish when he began to love foolish, idolatrous women, and he had as many idols as his wives had. For this reason, the scriptures call men effeminate, who have wanton sexual love of women, since such love transforms them from men into women in manners and passions. This transformation is brought about imperceptibly by complacence. Once it has entered into our heart, it produces another kind of complacence to give to him from whom we received the first. It is said that in the Indies there is a little land animal that likes so much to be with fish in the sea that by often swimming about with them it finally becomes a fish itself and is changed from a land animal completely into a marine animal. Thus too, by often taking delight in God, we become confirmed to God, and our will is transformed into that of His divine majesty by the complacence it takes in Him. Though the language of Saint Francis de Sales at stages seems outdated, what he speaks about is a real treasure, that, as it were, we human beings have a nature of a mirror. We are born to mirror our friendships, our relationships. So there is no neutral event in the life of a soul. Our relationship with others, with our environment, with the issues, with politics, what's happening in the world, and in particular our relationship with God is never neutral. We are mirroring our environment. That's why it is so important to cultivate the life of our soul. Regardless what our profession is, where we are, who we are, our soul needs life, needs care, needs attending. And the desire between the soul, between us and God, the desire for love, it should be taken seriously, because we become similar to the one in whom or in what we take delight. If it's like in the case of King Solomon, when he failed, if it's empty, superficial pleasures and interest, our life becomes superficial and shallow. If it is something noble, if it is something, anything which has to do with love, our soul is going to grow in that desire to be loving, to be loved, to be with God, the very source of the daily renewal of our love.